Tonight's story takes us to the deep Mississippi Delta in 1932, a place filled with heat, music, and secrets that refuse to stay buried. The film follows twin brothers Smoke and Stack, both played by Michael B. Jordan, as they try to outrun their past. After working for gangsters in Chicago and surviving a life of crime, they return home with one goal: to start fresh. Their plan is simple: buy an old sawmill and turn it into a juke joint where their people can laugh, dance, and feel free for one night in a world that constantly tries to break them. But from the moment they arrive, you can feel it. Something in this town isn't right. They reconnect with their young cousin Sammy, a preacher's son with a voice that doesn't just sound good, it feels powerful, almost supernatural. When Sammy sings the blues, it's like the past, present, and future are all listening at the same time. Opening night finally comes. The juke joint is alive. The music is loud, the food is hot, people are dancing, and for the first time in a long time, Smoke and Stack believe they've escaped the life they used to live. And then, the strangers show up. At first, they look normal, smiling, calm, patient. But they're not there for the music. They're drawn to Sammy, because his voice is not just a gift, it's a signal. The celebration slowly turns into a nightmare when the truth is revealed. The visitors are vampires, and once they enter the club, no one inside is allowed to leave. What follows is not just a fight for survival, it's a fight for identity, for community, and for redemption. Smoke, the more serious and protective brother, wants to save everyone. Stack, who has always been more reckless and haunted by their past, is forced to confront the man he used to be. The twins, who once worked side by side, now clash over how to survive the night. As the doors are locked and the windows are sealed, the juke joint transforms from a place of joy into a battleground. Friends start falling, trust begins to crack, and the music, the very thing that brought life into the room, becomes the only weapon strong enough to push back the darkness. Because these vampires are not just monsters, they represent something deeper. People who feed on culture, on talent, on pain. They don't create, they take. Through the chaos, Sammy keeps singing, not for fame, not for glory, but to keep the spirit of everyone inside alive. The night builds toward a brutal and emotional final confrontation, where Smoke and Stack must decide what matters more, their own survival or the future of their people. And in that moment, their past sins finally catch up with them. Sacrifices are made, blood is spilled, but by the time the sun begins to rise, something powerful remains. The juke joint may not survive the night, but the music does, and so does the legacy. Because Sinners is not just a horror story, it's about what happens when people try to take your voice and what it costs to take it back. This is a story about redemption, about brotherhood, and about how even in the darkest night, culture, community, and music can still live on. And that is the end of the movie Sinner. Subscribe for more recaps you like. It also helps the channel.